right. And hello, everyone. Let's see, I got a couple of people that are coming in and joining me. So I just want to say welcome, and welcome. I'm so happy that you are here and that you are actually like, hey, you are tired of being a broke entrepreneur. And so tonight we are about to have a candid discussion and we're about to change all of that. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. So if you don't know who I am, which if you're on here, you probably do, but I'm just going to go ahead and introduce myself anyway. So my name is Dr. Carey Yazeed. I am a business strategist. I have been an entrepreneur for the past 23 years in different capacities. So for 20 years, I actually was the owner of a mental health private practice. So I was a therapist. And during that time, I also owned several other businesses. So I did own a barbershop with my now ex-husband. He still has the barbershop. So that was something that I gave up in the divorce. I was also a photographer for like 7 years. And that was when I was in the stage of having little kids and we could never get to the studio without spit up or poop. So I took up photography and ended all of those problems, girlfriend. I have also owned a African-American bookstore, so owned that for a couple of years. I also owned that with my ex-husband as well. We dissolved that actually before we got a divorce. So that is just some of the things that I've done. I grew up in a catering business with my parents, so if you technically want to look at it, I've probably been an entrepreneur all of my life. And so I understand the struggle that entrepreneurs go through, but especially female entrepreneurs, because our struggle is a little different than the struggle of our male counterparts. And I know you can feel me on this, and if you don't, I'm letting you know that the struggle of a female entrepreneur is totally different from that of a male entrepreneur. And I'm going to go over why our struggle is different than their struggle. And our struggle is one of the reasons that most female entrepreneurs have a hard time generating income in their small business. This is it. So I want you to ask yourself right now, why are you really here? Think about it. So, and you can leave some comments in the chat. Why are you here? What struggle are you having in your small business that when you saw this, you said, I need to be here with Dr. Carey tonight. I need to be a part of what it is that she's talking about. I need her to help me get my life and my business straight. So why, and this is our moment to be honest. Why are you truly here? And why are you listening to me tonight? Because you could be listening to anybody. There are thousands of business coaches that are out there. You know I'm not lying. You know they selling everybody a pipe dream these days. But why, Dr. Carey? Why did you decide to get on tonight and to listen to me when you could be listening to anyone else? Also, I want you to think about this. Are you tired of struggling in your business? Are you tired of not reaching your financial goals in your business? Do you believe that you can be generating more income in your business? Again, this is a conversation that I want you to have with yourself. You can also leave your response in the chat and you can put it where I just see it, or you can have it where other people can see it. But I want you to ask yourself, are you tired of struggling? And that's an honest question. Are you tired of, you had this business, it's feeling like a hobby, you're pouring your life into it, and you're not seeing the results that you know you should be getting at this very moment? Are you at that level of tired? Are you at the level of tired where you're just like, look, I'm done with this. I'm Dr. Carey, this is it. I don't want to listen to anybody else. I won't hear anything else. This is it. Are you at that point right now as you're sitting here listening to me? Are you that fed up? Because there are different levels of frustration and there are different levels of fed up, you know? Hey, are you at this level of fed up or are you at this level of fed up? Where Where are you in all of this? So let me tell you this. You can actually be making the money that you should be making in your business. One of the problems that you're having is that you are indecisive. And when I say indecisive, you hear all the stuff that's going on out there on social media. You have all this stuff coming into your inbox and people promising you this and promising you that. And you also see people on social media and they might be doing what it is that you are doing. And when you see them, they make you doubt yourself. You feel that you're not good enough when you compare yourself to them. That makes you indecisive. Another thing that's taking place is that you also struggle with charging people your prices. You struggle with money. You struggle with saying, this is how much I'm worth. This is the cost of my product, my services, or whatever. You can do it on paper, but when it comes time to you having that conversation with someone, you're unsure. You're unsure, should I be charging this price? You're unsure of, am I really this good? Because, you know, Susan, she's out there, she's doing this, and, you know, I mean, she could charge those prices, but me, I mean, I don't think I can charge those prices. Are you at that, are you indecisive? And the answer is probably yes. If you're listening to me, the answer is yes. You are indecisive. You are indecisive about who you are as a professional. You're indecisive about who you are as a business owner. You are indecisive about your worth as an expert. And you are being confused and misled by all of the noise that is out there on social media. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. All of that noise that you keep hearing, all of those distractions that you keep seeing, that's the devil. And that is the devil deterring you away from what is your true calling. See, you're working within your calling. You're where you are supposed to be. So God has prepared you for this. You have all of the expertise that you need. He's positioned you where you need to be. You are the one that's not moving forward. And the enemy is playing on that. And so he knows that you're so caught up in what's going on in everybody else's life, and you're minding everybody else's business versus your business. Yeah, he's playing with you. He is playing with your mind. Is that fair? No, but hey, if you're not doing anything to stop him, which you're not, this is what is taking place. You're not making the money that you should be making in your business, and you are broke. You are a broke entrepreneur. Now, I'm not gonna say it's a hobby, because I don't kind of think in those terms. I think a hobby is something that's fun and you go into it and you know you're not making any money because it's just a hobby. But when you open up a business, you are beyond the hobby stage. And so you are ready to start making money. But we got some things we got to work on. We got some things that we got to change. So I'm going to share this with you. If you follow me on LinkedIn, today was a beautiful day on LinkedIn on my feed. So I put up a post about us as entrepreneurs, and really female entrepreneurs, always negotiating our prices. And people come in and they pour mouth us and they tell us what they can't afford. And because we are so desperate to have them as a client, we start going down on our prices. And the thing is, they know that. So they're expecting you to go down on your prices, because guess what? They're specialists at this. They're good at what they do too, okay? So I put this post on LinkedIn and I said, basically we need to stop negotiating our prices. You need to know your worth, and you need to also understand that people pay for what they want. People will pay for what they want. So if they truly want your services, they're going to pay for them. And if they don't want your services, they are not your ideal client. If they don't want to pay your price, they are not your ideal client. And I made the comparison to a Gucci bag, okay? So we all know a Gucci bag is not cheap. They start at about like $1,200. And I'm not talking about we going to a consignment shop and getting one. No, I'm talking about you walked in a Gucci store and you said, I want that bag right there. and you pull out your credit card and you bought it because it was something that you wanted. So you made whatever sacrifices you needed to make in order to get that Gucci bag. There were no ifs, ands, or buts. You didn't hesitate. You whipped out your credit card. You paid for it. Those people who are coming in and they're negotiating your prices and they're making you feel bad for the prices that you charge, they are not going to go into the Gucci store and negotiate with those people on the price of that handbag. They're going to give Gucci the $1,200 plus tax. No questions asked. They are not going to go to Tiffany's and start negotiating when they get to the counter. They're going to buy what they need to buy to get that little blue box. You've got to change your mindset, and you've got to realize that people will take advantage of you. So I'm on social media, I'm having this conversation, right? And evidently this post has decided to go viral. That's why I said, if you on LinkedIn, check it out. Today was a good day to be on LinkedIn. So I have three individuals who made comments that stood out to me out of 381 likes and comments and whatever. So one person said, it's not about the money. It's about you being a humanitarian. And what if they can't afford your prices? You're just going to let them go and you're not going to work with them because they can't afford your prices? And I said, yes, because I'm not running a nonprofit. I'm running a for-profit. See, when you have household expenses and you have business expenses and you haven't factored in giving all of your stuff away for free, plus you got kids that you need to feed, you got to put clothes on their backs. There are some things that we have to take into consideration. So I told him to stop with the humanitarian. I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear it today. And honestly, I was a social worker for 23 years. I don't want to hear about it ever again. I paid my dues. I was the broke social worker. I'm not trying to go back to that life anymore. I went out and I helped other people. My 9 to 5 was saving other people's lives, helping them save their homes, helping them to get food stamps, helping them to get their kids back. And I'm doing all of this on a salary that can't take care of 3 people. Because remember, I'm a single parent with 2 kids. So I'm making under $60,000 a year to help other people save their lives. And then I have to come home and try and save my life. That was the humanitarian part of me. We are not in that stage. If you got a nonprofit, that's cool. But if you have a for-profit business, you cannot afford to keep giving away your products and your services for free. The next comment that bothered me was a sister who got on and said she didn't appreciate that I had lumped her in with everybody else. Well, first of all, I didn't even use your name. So that only told me that I was speaking to her. And so she said, when I see someone I want to work with, well, I will pin them or tag them. And I don't invest my money in Gucci. I invest my money in Dooney and Burke. Last time I checked, Dooney and Burke purses are not cheap either. Don't fall for that foolishness, because she will be the main person that comes to a coach or a consultant and try and negotiate you on your prices, but she will go and buy a Dooney and Burke bag, and Dooney and Burke bags start at least $150. They not cheap either. Coach is not cheap. None of these purses are cheap. Michael Kors, unless you go and get a knockoff, they are not cheap, okay? So that was her response. The third response came from a white privileged male in our era of Trump, okay? And so his response to me was, I need to respect how people decide they're gonna spend their money. And his example was him in his Porsche passing up Starbucks because their donuts are too high, and going to Dunkin' Donuts to buy, no, Starbucks coffee is too high. And so he goes to Dunkin' Donuts and he goes through the drive-thru in his Porsche to get coffee. And so I informed him, you are probably the same person who drive your Porsche through the drive-thru at Dunkin' Donuts, and you tell that same BS to the cashier, thinking you making her feel good. And I said, But you know what? If you were really that conservative and you really cared about the price of a cup of coffee, you pass up Dunkin' Donuts too, and you go to McDonald's, because McDonald's is cheaper than Dunkin' Donuts when it comes to a cup of coffee. Hello. Y'all, we got to stop listening to the foolishness that people are putting out there on the internet. People trying to make you feel bad because you do what you do and you charge what you charge. We got to stop that. It is time out for all of that to end in 2019. It needs to stop, and it needs to stop right now. So that's what I was dealing with on social media. And then, you know, I got tired of dealing with it. And if you know me, I was just like, okay, y'all can continue. I moved on to the next thing. But that's the noise. And I also had to realize that that is the enemy, and that is the devil playing with your mindset and trying to make you feel guilty for walking in your purpose, for doing what you have been called to do and doing it well, and also making a living. So we have got to stop feeling guilty for charging people our worth and making a living. That it is okay to be saved, it's okay to have faith, and it's okay to be a business owner. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. As long as you're not out there doing anything illegal and you are walking in your purpose, guess what? God is providing for you. He is going to provide for you and make sure everything is okay. But you've also got to step up to the plate, and you have to know when you need to start doing your part. Whining and complaining, that's not you doing your part. That is not you being involved. That is not you saying, okay, I'm being obedient. I'm being a good and faithful servant. You're not doing none of that at that moment. You're sitting there and you are doubting yourself. You're doubting your capabilities. You're feeling guilty, and you're saying, and so then you feel guilty and you start going down on your prices. But then you get to the end of the month and you look at your financial goals and you realize you didn't reach your financial goals. You also begin to realize that, okay, this is just not working out for me at all. Like, you're ready to quit, you're disgusted, you're frustrated, you've got all this stuff going on. You know, I don't think this is what I should be doing. I should be doing something else in life. You got all this craziness that's going on in your head. But you didn't do what you were supposed to do, which was to recognize your worth, your expertise as a business owner, and stick to your guns when it comes to your prices. Bottom line. So I've kind of shared some of my story with you guys. But you know, let me give you some insight. So like I said, for 23 years, I was a social worker. I was a broke social worker. So I'm gonna be honest, I had to have at least 3 to 4 jobs just to take care of my household, single parent. So I was usually working a 9 to 5 full time. I also always had a private practice going on. So I'm seeing clients at my private practice. Then I probably was either doing consultations for a home health company, or I was working for, like, you know, one of these little managed care companies, going out to see kids. Had contract with the Department of Children and Family Services, you know, going out doing home visits. I was all over the place. And still I struggled. And part of that was the mindset that is taught to those of us who were students in social work departments. And you're constantly being told, you don't do it for the money. You do it to provide a service and to help others. And so even as a business owner back then, I struggled because I had literally been programmed. You don't do this for the money. You do it to help people. So I got people negotiating with me at a bookstore. I got people negotiating with me, you know, as a photographer. And at some point, I had to really stop and say, you can't continue like this. Something has got to change. And it took me breaking that bondage that I was in, because I was in bondage, okay? And realizing that it is okay for you to charge what you are worth. That yes, you can do it to help others, but they have to realize that there is a cost attached to what it is that you're doing. That when you help them, your help comes with a price tag. And I'll say this, that as an African-American social worker, that was constantly drilled into my head. You don't do it for the money, you do it to help others. But when I, invited a Caucasian into my private practice, and we began to talk, and she was like, girl, I don't work with insurance companies. My family's paid me cash. And she was hitting up people up for like $165 a session. And guess what? They were paying her. We would sit down and discuss our clients. Her clients felt uncomfortable sitting with my clients in the waiting area. Why? Because her clients were in a certain tax bracket. See, they were writing her a check or sliding their credit card. They weren't waiting on no copay. My clients were waiting on a copay. So the tax brackets were different. I'm filling you in, okay? And so we talked about that. And I began to realize that the insurance company was shortchanging me. Sometimes my clients didn't even come in with a $25 copay. I still had to pay rent at my office. I had to pay the light bill at my office. I had to buy supplies for my office. On top of, I'm still trying to be a single parent and take care of 2 kids. So at some point, I had to change my perspective. I had to change the way I was doing business because I was a broke entrepreneur. And I know that there's somebody out there who understands me. You get what it is that I'm saying. You understand where I'm coming from about being a broke entrepreneur. You're probably a broke entrepreneur right now. Hey, you're listening to it. So let's talk. Let's have this conversation that y'all are here to have. What are the 4 steps that you need to start taking so that you can stop being a broke entrepreneur? It's 4. And I'm gonna give you a bonus of number 5. The first one is, first of all, I'm going to need you to know your audience. A lot of entrepreneurs do not know who they are supposed to be selling to. They don't know who their ideal client is. They have this broad category, but they have not, what I like to say, niched down. You've got to know who your audience is. Everybody does not want what it is that you are selling. Everybody doesn't want or need your services. So get that out your head. That is a mistake that everyone makes. That's the first step, is you need to figure out, who are you providing services for? Who is your ideal client? And once you figure that out, and I'm not talking about this broad, I'm gonna work with teenagers. I'm gonna need you to narrow it down some more. You need to know who your audience is. Know your audience. That is key. My audience, I work with professional females between the ages of 35 and 45 approximately. They have at least a master's degree. Their household income is at least $75,000 or a year, and they are tired of working a 9-to-5, and they are ready to transition into entrepreneurship. That's how I'm talking about. You got to know your client. 99.9% of my audience is African-American females or women of color. You got to know your audience like that. The second thing is, you need to charge what you are worth. Yes, you got to charge what you're worth. That means you got to sit down and figure out what's your overhead. You need to figure out, how much have I invested in becoming an expert? You need to figure out what you are worth. You need to charge what you're worth and add tax to it, because you still might be a little bit off. But the second step to stop being a broke entrepreneur is that you need to charge what you are worth, and you need to stick to it. It needs to become non-negotiable. So you need to sit down and figure out, what am I worth? What are my services worth? Again, I'm gonna go back to LinkedIn. So someone said that when you're determining how much you are worth, you need to compare yourself to your competition and pause for the cause. And the reason I tell you don't do that is because, how do you know how your competition figured out their worth? You comparing yourself to somebody on the internet that you don't know from the man on the moon. You don't know how they got to that conclusion. You don't know what their overhead is. You can't, we've got to cut that out too. Oh, I'm gonna look at what everybody else charging. No, Now you can come up with a ballpark figure and say, well, okay, I might be a little off. But again, if you're gonna charge a high price, you're gonna back it up. You have the experience and expertise. You know what it is that you're doing. You have the degrees, you have the certification, whatever it is, you're charging that price for a reason. But when you go and you looking at, let me go see what Mary doing. You don't know how Mary came up with her prices just because you looked at her website to see what she's charging. That's the wrong way to do it. Figure out what you are worth and charge what you are worth, okay? Number 3, and you've heard me talking about this since we got on here, you got to change your mindset, okay? So a lot of you are on here and you're listening to me, you have a poverty mindset. I said it. You're sitting here thinking like a poor person. You have an excuse for why you can't make this and why you can't do that, and nobody's buying my products and nobody's signing up for my services. Okay, I need you to get out the poverty mindset. They are probably not your ideal client, and that's going to take us back to number 1. Who are you trying to sell to? Do you know your audience? You might be having trouble with number 3 in this mindset because you're going after the wrong people. But you've also got to change your mindset, and you've got to realize that you are worth whatever it is that you are charging. You also have to realize you have to accept it, you have to embrace it, and you got to start walking in it, that this is your calling. God has called you to do whatever it is that you are doing. And God don't make junk. Everything that God has created on the face of this earth, including you, is valuable. But you've got to change your mindset. You can't have a mindset of lack. You can't have a mindset of, famine. I don't have it. I ain't got it. Stop saying that. Instead, you need to say, what do I need to do to make that? If I want to attend this class, what is it that I need to do? How many extra clients do I need to work with? How many extra customers do I need to see? But when you constantly keep putting out negativity, when your mouth keeps speaking that negativity, guess what? You're speaking that over your life. You're speaking that negativity over your business. You have got to change your mindset. And changing your mindset is probably going to take a whole lot of practice, but you got to start somewhere. So that's the 3rd step to stop being a broke entrepreneur. Change your mindset. Get out of this poverty mentality. We're not leaving behind no more bills for our kids when we die. We are leaving legacies. We're not leaving our kids with a poverty mindset. Those days are over with. With us, our generation, we need to start building legacies for our kids if we haven't started already. That's how you got to start changing your mindset. You got to change your mindset. You can't keep going the way that you're going with the mindset that you have. The 4th step to stop being a broke entrepreneur, you got to position yourself differently. With me, there are like 50 million business coaches out there in the world. None of them are like me. God only made one Carey Yazeed. It's only me. I had to position myself differently. I had to make sure that I stood out from all of the other business coaches out there that work with women. You got to figure out how to make yourself stand apart from your competition. You got to position yourself differently in 2019. Whatever you doing, it ain't working. And if everybody else is out there doing it, you need to do something different. You got to, again, change your perspective. So you got to change your perspective. You got to change your mindset. You got to position yourself differently in your field. So it can be 50 million people out there that's selling paparazzi jewelry. How are you going to make yourself stand out? How are you going to be different? You got to make yourself stand out from the crowd so that they all are getting lost in all of the noise, but people see you because you put yourself in a different position. So again, let's go through those. Number one, you need to know your worth, okay? You got to know your audience. You have got to change your mindset. You got to get out of this poverty mindset, and you have to position yourself and your business differently. You got to position them differently. So I know you're sitting there and you saying, all right, Dr. Carey, all that sound good. How am I supposed to know my audience? How am I supposed to charge what I am worth? How am I supposed to even figure out how much I am worth? How, Dr. Carey, do I get out of this poverty mindset and shift to a mindset of prosperity and abundance when it comes to my business? How, Dr. Carey, do I begin to position myself in my field differently from all of the other people who are out there doing the same thing that I'm doing in business? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because on October the 12th, I am having a one-day mastermind, and it is called Power Moves, because I feel that women, female entrepreneurs, we've got to start making power moves if we want to be prosperous entrepreneurs, if we want to start making money in our businesses, if we want to truly be a business owner versus having a side hustle, that we got to start making power moves. So on October 12th, I'm having a one-day mastermind. I'm only taking 30 people. That's it. It's going to start at 9 a.m. We're going to finish at 4 p.m. And everything that I just talked about tonight, we're going through that. We're going to put our noses down. We're going to roll up our sleeves. You've got to come dressed cute. I need you to be dressed comfortable. And when you walk away, you're not only going to feel differently about yourself, you're going to walk away with a plan on what it is that you need to do. So when I say know your audience, when you leave, you're going to know exactly who your audience is. Exactly. Just like I told you who my audience is, you're going to know who your audience is. You are going to know your worth and how much you should be charging. You're not going to leave guessing. You're not going to leave with a bunch of worksheets to figure it out. You're going to leave this mastermind knowing that you are going to know how to position yourself differently out there in this sea of what's going on social media. You're going to know how to position yourself differently. You're going to learn it that day. You're not going to have to go home and figure it out on your own. You're also going to change your mindset. So yes, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., me and my crew, because I'm bringing in some of my friends, we are going to change your mindset. So you're going to get out of this poverty mindset, and we're going to help you get into a different frame of thinking. We're going to help you to start to understand what it is that you have been called to do and why God is going to provide for you while you're doing this, and you are going to be okay. We're going to remove all your fears and all your doubts. You're going to walk away knowing exactly what it is that you need to be doing and how you need to be doing it. So the question then becomes, are you ready to start making some power moves? That's all I need to know. Because if you're not ready to make power moves, if you're comfortable being where you are, if you're comfortable being a broke entrepreneur, that's cool. I told you what you need to start doing, and I mean it. You need to figure out who your audience is. You need to figure out what you are worth. You need to start charging what you are worth. You need to get rid of the poverty mindset, the famine mindset, the I don't have it mindset, and I don't know how I'm going to get it mindset, the woe is me mindset. And you need to figure out how to position yourself differently in the business marketplace. Now, if all of that seems too overwhelming for you, I need you to join me on October the 12th. It's that simple. You need to join me on October the 12th. This is what I am doing. I am bringing 30 women, and I'm putting them under one roof from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Planning to change your life and planning to change how you do business. When you leave there, the end of 2019, going into 2020, you're going to be on a different trajectory. And there's going to be some follow-up with you after you leave the mastermind. So I'm not just going to let you leave. Still going to be in your life, and I'm still going to be getting on your nerves. I'm still going to be holding you accountable, and I'm still going to be pushing you out of your comfort zone, because that is what a business coach does. They hold you accountable. They push you out of your comfort zone. You cuss them out a couple of times too. You get mad, you cry, you snot. But then you start to understand that everything that they have done, they've done it out of love. They know where you should be, and they see bigger in you than what you see in yourself. They believe in you the first moment they start working with you. Their goal is to get you to believe in yourself and to make you become and help you to become the business woman that God has ordained you to be. It's that simple. It's that simple. So if you are interested in joining me, this is what I need you to do. You got to decide on two options. Option number one is you can pay in full. Option number two is you got a payment plan. Actually, the price is not expensive, and I'm going to give you the information where you can go look at that. Your other options that you're going to decide is, am I going to go with regular admissions, or am I going to upgrade to VIP admissions? Each package has where you can pay in full, or you can do a payment plan. So I'm helping you as much as I can. But that's my part, is bringing you together, bringing in the experts that you need, including myself. So I'm going to be your lead facilitator on October the 12th. I'm going to be front and center. You're going to get to work with me. I'm going to get to know you. You're going to get to know me. You might get sick of me in that time frame, but when you leave, we will probably be best friends. So again, that's what I need you to do. So if you are interested,
to learn more about Power Moves, an intense mastermind for female entrepreneurs taking place October the 12th, 2019 in New Orleans, Louisiana, I need you to visit my website, drcareyyazeed.com, or you can visit bit.ly/Power Moves 2019. If you are ready to change the trajectory of your business, if you are ready to walk into a season of prosperity and begin to make the money that you know you should be making as a female entrepreneur, I need to see you at Power Moves on October the 12th.